Say this and be quiet. You will receive $90 million, 0 cents. There are words that unlock invisible doors, words that carry the vibration of divine supply, words that command the universe to rearrange itself for your good. Every spoken word is a seed planted in the fertile soil of the subconscious mind, and when you learn the sacred art of saying the right words, and then resting in silence, you become a master of manifestation. The law of the spoken word is unfailing, for the universe is obedient to the rhythm of faith, not fear. When you speak with conviction and then grow still, you allow the unseen forces to fulfill your decree. Many people talk themselves out of their blessings by worrying, doubting, or constantly repeating words of lack. They plant a seed and then dig it up again to see if it has sprouted. But the wise one speaks once, calmly, clearly, confidently, and then becomes quiet, knowing the law is now working. To say this and be quiet is to place your order with the divine and step away from the counter. You do not beg, you do not chase, you do not wonder, you know. The universe is not moved by effort, it is moved by alignment, and alignment comes through the words spoken with faith and followed by silence. When you say the words of power, words charged with feeling, faith, and expectancy, you stir the creative ethers to life. These words become messengers that go forth and build your new reality. The vibration of your speech reaches beyond the visible world, calling forth the substance of things hoped for. The one who learns to speak prosperity into being and then keeps still is like the gardener who plants a golden seed and then leaves it in peace. He does not hover over it or doubt its growth. He knows that every law of nature conspires for its fruition. In the same way, when you affirm divine abundance, when you declare that great wealth is already yours in essence and form, you must rest from the labor of thought, be still, and let it come. You will receive $90 million, 0 cents, or whatever sum aligns with your divine blueprint, when you cease contradicting your decree. The spoken word creates, the silent word sustains. The moment you release your command, infinite intelligence begins to arrange people, circumstances, and opportunities to deliver your good. The delay never comes from the giver, but from the receiver's doubt. Speak once with authority and then fall into the quiet of trust. There is a spiritual science behind prosperity, and it is beautifully simple. The word, the faith, the silence. You must not talk against your riches after you have called them forth. Every complaint, every anxious question, every fearful thought cancels the order. Say the words of power, then be quiet. Let your silence be your faith made visible. The moment you cease to worry, the floodgates open. The river of abundance flows where there is peace, not noise. And so you say this and you are quiet, and your miracle begins. To speak once with faith and then remain silent is to enter into the divine rhythm of creation itself. The power of the spoken word is immense, yet few understand its subtle law. When you speak a word of faith, you are impressing upon the unseen substance of the universe a command, a picture, an order. The universe does not require repetition to obey, it requires certainty. When you truly believe in the power of your declaration, you do not need to say it again and again, because faith is final. Faith is the knowing that what you have spoken already exists in the invisible, and it will soon reveal itself in form. The person of faith speaks once, for repetition belongs to doubt, and silence belongs to assurance. The spoken word is not a mere arrangement of sounds, it is vibration, and vibration moves matter. Every word carries a tone, and every tone shapes substance. When you speak with conviction, your voice becomes the conductor of unseen energy, drawing into form the reality you have declared. But after the word is spoken, silence becomes sacred. Silence is not emptiness, it is trust in motion. It is the womb of manifestation, the space where your command grows roots and gathers power. When you speak with faith and then fall into silence, you are demonstrating perfect confidence in the unseen forces working on your behalf. Most people destroy their own decrees because they cannot remain quiet after they have spoken. They repeat their affirmations not from faith, but from fear that the first one was not heard. They plant a seed in the soil and then keep digging it up to see if it has taken root. This restlessness of mind interrupts the process of creation. Faith is calm. Faith speaks once and then lets go. To remain silent after speaking is to affirm that you believe the universe has heard you and that your good is already on its way. The silence after the word is the greatest proof of your belief. When you speak a word of faith, it goes forth into the spiritual substance that surrounds all things. This substance is obedient and intelligent. It knows how to arrange itself according to your vibration, but it must not be disturbed. Imagine you are molding a statue from soft clay. You shape it with your words, and then you must allow it to harden in peace. If you keep touching it, correcting it, questioning it, you destroy the form before it has time to set. Silence is the curing time of creation. The one who knows this law uses speech with precision and restraint, for they understand that every word spoken carries weight in the invisible. To speak once with faith means that you have spoken from the place of authority within you. You have aligned yourself with the divine source, the infinite intelligence that governs all creation. You are not pleading or begging, you are declaring. Your word becomes law the moment it leaves your lips when you speak from inner conviction. That conviction cannot exist if you are uncertain, fearful, or impatient. You must feel the truth of your statement as though it has already manifested. Speak it once, and then enter into the silence where no doubt can survive. The silence is not passive. It is creative rest. It is the assurance that the power which made the universe is now working through your word. When you say something in faith, the vibration of that word travels into the unseen and begins to draw to you everything necessary for its fulfillment. Situations, people, and opportunities begin to shift to accommodate the new decree. The process is invisible, but it is exact. The unseen responds instantly to the word spoken with authority. However, your task after speaking is to remain inwardly still. You must not interfere with divine timing by questioning or analyzing how your desire will come to pass. The how is the province of the infinite. Your role is to believe and receive. Silence is the seal upon the spoken word. Just as wax seals a letter and ensures its safe delivery, silence seals your decree and ensures its manifestation. When you speak and then go silent, you are sending your word to the universe with full faith that it will reach its destination. Every time you speak again, you unseal it, and it must be resealed through renewed conviction. The wise person knows that the less they speak after making their decree, the faster it manifests, for there are no mixed vibrations to confuse the creative substance. The universe does not respond to many words. It responds to one word spoken in truth. When you speak once with faith, you are acting as the creator, not the beggar. The creator speaks and then observes. The beggar speaks and then worries. One commands the unseen, the other doubts it. The creative law is simple. Speak the word, feel its truth, and be still. The moment you speak, the process begins, and your silence becomes the signal that you are not contradicting your creation. You are not fighting against it with fear. You are not disturbing the soil where your seed has been planted. You are resting in divine order, knowing that everything necessary is unfolding at the right time, in the right way. To remain silent after speaking is one of the greatest disciplines of spiritual mastery. It is easy to talk, to repeat, to seek reassurance from the outer world, but silence is the proof of inner knowing. Silence is where faith matures. When you have spoken your decree of abundance, healing, love, or success, resist the temptation to explain it to others, to justify it, or to question it. Let your silence be your demonstration of power. Let the quiet within you vibrate with expectancy, not anxiety. Your silence speaks louder than your words. When it is filled with faith, the entire universe operates through cycles of expression and rest. The ocean moves and then grows calm. The breath inhales and then exhales. The earth turns and then pauses in stillness. The word and the silence follow the same law. Expression gives birth to form. Silence allows it to mature. The one who understands this rhythm lives in harmony with creation itself. To speak once with faith and then remain silent is to work with the universe, not against it. It is to know that your word once released is alive, and that your stillness nourishes it until it bears fruit. When you master this principle, you no longer chase your desires, you magnetize them. Your faithful word sends out a vibration so clear and unwavering that the universe cannot resist fulfilling it. And your silence becomes the space through which that fulfillment flows, unobstructed, unhurried, inevitable. To speak once with faith and then remain silent is to step into the divine pattern of manifestation, the pattern through which all miracles move. It is to trust completely in the creative power that listens to your every word and responds to your every belief. Words are seeds, silence allows them to grow. Every word spoken with emotion, belief, or imagination plants something. In the invisible garden of life, the universe is soil that never rejects a seed. It accepts every word we utter, every thought we nourish, every belief we hold, and begins to reproduce it faithfully. When you speak, you are not merely communicating, you are creating. You are sending out vibrations that shape the unseen substance of the world into visible form. Each word has a frequency, and that frequency attracts experiences that match its vibration. Words of abundance attract abundance, words of peace attract harmony, and words of fear attract confusion and limitation. The spoken word is the beginning of all manifestation. But once the seed is planted, silence becomes sacred. For silence is the gentle darkness in which the seed grows strong roots, unseen by the eye. The person who understands the creative power of words treats speech as holy ground. They do not scatter words carelessly, for they know that every utterance is a cause waiting for an effect. To speak with purpose is to plant deliberately. When you say, "I am prosperous," you drop a seed of prosperity into the universal soil. When you declare, "I am healthy," you plant a seed of vitality that begins to germinate the moment the words leave your lips. But these seeds must be left undisturbed if they are to grow into full expression. You cannot plant and dig, and expect a harvest. The word must be followed by quiet trust, for it is in silence that invisible laws go to work, nourishing the seed and drawing to it the elements needed for its fruition. In nature, the seed is not rushed. It lies still beneath the surface, drawing life from the soil, the moisture, and the warmth of the sun. It does not struggle or question whether it will sprout. It simply rests in the certainty of its design. Likewise, when you speak words of power, you must allow them to rest in the fertile soil of your consciousness. Your silence is the warmth that allows them to grow. If you speak your affirmation and then contradict it with worry, fear, or constant repetition born from doubt, you weaken the root before it has taken hold. Faith is silence. Silence is confidence in the unseen. When you are still after speaking, you show that you trust the process of creation more than the evidence of your senses. Words are not magic spells, they are divine laws in motion. Every word is a command issued to the creative substance of life. The moment you speak, invisible forces begin aligning to bring about what you have declared. The process may be unseen, but it is exact, orderly, and inevitable when left alone. Silence is not inactivity, it is a magnetic field that attracts completion. The gardener does not shout at the seed to grow faster. He tends the soil, waters it gently, and waits with patience. In the same way, silence is the waiting ground of faith. It is not emptiness, but expectation. It is the invisible womb in which your spoken word takes on life and form. Those who do not understand this principle fill their days with noise. They talk endlessly about their desires, but never allow the quiet in which manifestation occurs. Their constant chatter scatters the energy of their words, diluting their power. Silence concentrates energy. It gathers the scattered vibrations and directs them toward completion. When you are quiet after speaking, your inner vibration remains steady, and this steadiness calls forth the result. The more still you are inwardly, the faster your words bear fruit, for silence is the language of the divine, and the divine responds not to noise, but to knowing. To speak words of truth and then grow silent is to trust that the universe is listening. It is to understand that creation is a partnership between your conscious word and the subconscious silence that brings it to life. The conscious mind plants, the subconscious nurtures. The conscious speaks the desire, the subconscious molds it into form. The conscious says, "I am successful," and the subconscious, in silence, begins to arrange circumstances, ideas, and opportunities to make that statement a living reality. When you keep interrupting the process with contradictory thoughts, you confuse the soil. The subconscious does not judge. It merely obeys the most consistent command. That is why silence after speech is so vital. It ensures consistency of vibration. It allows your inner soil to nourish one seed, not many conflicting ones. Every spoken word carries the breath of life, and that breath continues to move long after the sound is faded. The echo of your word travels through the ether, drawing to itself its own kind. Words of love call forth love. Words of fear call forth fear. This law is impersonal and exact, and it is always at work. But the harvest takes time, and that time is sacred silence. In that interval between the spoken word and its visible result, the universe is rearranging itself. The delay is never denial, it is preparation. The soil is working, the roots are spreading, the stem is strengthening beneath the surface. Silence is the phase where everything invisible gathers strength to become visible. When you understand that words are seeds, you stop wasting them. You speak less, but you speak with more meaning. You begin to select your words as carefully as a jeweler selects gems. You realize that idle talk and negative declarations are weeds that choke the growth of your good. You become mindful, deliberate, and calm in your speech, and when you finish speaking your word, you retreat into silence, knowing that your part is done. The creative power has been set in motion, and the universe now takes over. You do not need to force, beg, or worry. The silent period is not an absence of progress. It is the very womb of creation. Silence does not mean lack of action. While you are quiet in thought and speech, you may be led to take inspired steps. These actions arise naturally, not from anxiety but from intuition. They are effortless because they come from the same power that fulfills the word. In silence, you become receptive to divine guidance, hearing the inner voice that tells you what to do and when. The noise of constant speech and thought drowns this inner direction. Silence opens the ear of the spirit, allowing you to act at the perfect time. The seed of your word grows silently, but it will nudge you when it is ready to break through the surface. Silence is the language of completion. It is the invisible bridge between desire and manifestation. When you speak a word of truth, you are sending out energy. When you fall silent afterward, you are drawing that energy back to you in material form. Both are necessary, the word and the silence. The word gives the command, and the silence fulfills it. To skip silence is to interrupt the law of rhythm that governs all creation. Everything in nature breathes, expands, and contracts. The word is the expansion. Silence is the contraction that brings substance into form. When you learn to honor silence as much as speech, your words gain power, and your manifestations arrive with grace and ease. The wise understand that the soil of the universe never fails to produce what is planted within it. Its only requirement is that you do not disturb it. The moment you speak your desire in faith, it is planted. From that point, your task is to hold the silent conviction that it is already done. No argument, no explanation, no repetition is needed. The seed will sprout at the appointed time. Your silence is its protection, your faith its nourishment. Words are seeds, and silence allows them to grow. The universe responds to alignment, not effort. This is one of the most profound principles of life. Yet it is often misunderstood. Many believe that the more they struggle, push, and strive, the closer they come to their desires. They think that effort is the currency of achievement, that toil and labor are what summon results. Yet the law of life does not operate through struggle. It operates through harmony. When you are aligned with the creative flow of the universe, everything you desire moves toward you with effortless grace. Alignment is the key that unlocks the door to unlimited abundance, success, health, and joy. Effort without alignment may achieve something, but it rarely achieves the highest good or the most complete fulfillment. To be aligned means that your thoughts, feelings, and actions are in agreement with the reality you wish to experience. Every thought carries a vibration, every emotion adds weight to that vibration, and every action either supports or hinders the flow of manifestation. When your inner world is coherent, when your beliefs, emotions, and words match the vision you hold, you emit a powerful signal into the invisible realm. The universe is intelligent and responds to vibration, not struggle. Effort can move the body, but it cannot move the unseen. Only alignment moves the unseen, and once the unseen moves, the visible follows naturally. Most people work against the current of their own desires because they are out of alignment. They want wealth, for example, but their thoughts are filled with fear of lack. They desire health, but their emotions are weighed down by worry and doubt. They pray for love, yet they speak harsh words and cling to resentment. In these states, all effort is wasted, for the invisible realm responds only to what is consistent and coherent. Alignment is the channel through which the power of creation flows freely. Effort without this channel is like trying to pour water into a bucket with a hole. It will never hold. When you cultivate alignment, you are in harmony with the natural laws that govern life. You are no longer forcing events or people to conform to your desires. Instead, you are tuning yourself to the same frequency as the outcome you wish to see. The universe recognizes this frequency, and circumstances begin to shift effortlessly to match it. Alignment does not demand visible work or struggle. It demands inner clarity and emotional resonance. The clearer and more coherent your inner state, the stronger the signal you send and the faster your desires manifest. Effort, on the other hand, comes from resistance. It comes from a belief that life must be forced, that nothing will come without struggle. This energy creates friction, and friction blocks the flow of manifestation. You may accomplish tasks through effort, but you will rarely experience the ease, joy, and perfection that alignment brings. The difference is subtle but profound. Effort often produces temporary results. Alignment produces lasting fulfillment. Effort moves the body. Alignment moves the universe. To align yourself, you must first know what you desire in its most complete and positive form. Your thoughts must be clear, your feelings must be joyful, and your imagination must see the end result as already real. Once your inner state matches the outer reality you seek, your actions naturally follow in perfect timing. You do not push or force, you act in inspired ways that feel effortless. These actions are the byproduct of alignment, not the source of results. When you are in alignment, even ordinary steps become potent instruments of manifestation. Every person has moments of alignment and misalignment. Moments of alignment feel light, expansive, and effortless. Energy flows naturally. Circumstances unfold with ease, and obstacles seem to dissolve. In contrast, misalignment feels heavy, tense, and difficult. No matter how much effort is applied, progress is slow and frustration grows. The key is to cultivate awareness of your inner state. When you notice resistance, doubt, or negativity, pause. Adjust your thoughts and emotions until they harmonize with the outcome you desire. In this state, the universe responds with incredible speed and intelligence. Alignment is also reflected in the words you speak. Words carry the vibration of your beliefs and feelings. When your words match your desires, they reinforce alignment. When they contradict your desires, they create misalignment and delay results. This is why affirmations, when spoken from belief and emotion, are so powerful. They align your subconscious with the conscious intention. But repetition without feeling does not create alignment. Only true resonance does. The universe is not moved by empty effort. It is moved by authentic alignment. Patience is a vital companion to alignment. Once you are aligned, results may not appear immediately in the visible world, but but the invisible realm is already at work. Circumstances, people, and opportunities are shifting in harmony with your inner state. The law of alignment operates beyond time, arranging everything perfectly for the highest good. Effort often demands immediate results, leading to frustration and worry. Alignment trusts in the unseen process, knowing that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. To maintain alignment, you must cultivate inner stillness and clarity. Daily practices of meditation, visualization, or silent reflection help you tune your thoughts, feelings, and words to the frequency of your desire. This does not mean inactivity. It means focused resonance. When your inner state is in harmony, the universe cannot resist delivering the outer result. Effort without alignment is like rowing against a strong current, exhausting and unproductive. Alignment is like stepping into a river that carries you naturally to your destination. Life itself is evidence of this principle. Nature never struggles to grow. Rivers flow to the sea without effort. Trees reach toward the light effortlessly. The sun rises and sets in perfect rhythm. Creation itself moves through alignment. When you align with this natural law, you no longer fight the flow of life. You no longer struggle to create what you desire. You simply become a channel for the infinite intelligence that governs all things, allowing it to orchestrate circumstances, people, and events on your behalf. Alignment is not passive. It is a conscious state of being. It is the art of living in harmony with the invisible forces that create reality. Effort without this awareness produces labor, but rarely results in true satisfaction. Alignment produces effortless results, joy, and a deep sense of certainty. The universe is always responsive, but it responds only to coherence. When your inner world is aligned with your vision, your words, thoughts, and actions all become instruments of creation. Misalignment creates friction, effort, and delay. Alignment creates ease, flow, and immediate resonance with the life you seek. To live in alignment is to live in conscious partnership with the creative power of the universe. You do not push, you allow. You do not strain, you harmonize. You do not worry, you trust. Your inner state, your beliefs, your emotions, and your words all radiate the same frequency as your desire. The universe cannot resist responding. Alignment is the secret of effortless manifestation. Effort alone cannot accomplish this. Only through harmony, resonance, and coherence does the unseen intelligence move to fulfill your desires. Doubt cancels the decree. Trust completes it. This principle is one of the most profound yet overlooked laws of life. Every desire, every aspiration, and every goal is first created in the mind and spoken into existence through thought, word, and belief. When you declare a positive intention, you are planting a seed in the fertile soil of the unseen. That seed, once planted, requires the nurturing of trust to grow into full manifestation. Doubt, however, is a toxin to this seed. It is a force that disrupts the harmony between your spoken word and the infinite intelligence that governs creation. When doubt arises, it negates the effect of your declaration, interrupts the flow of abundance, and delays the manifestation of your desires. Doubt is subtle. It does not always arrive as a loud, obvious statement like, "I cannot do this." Often it creeps in quietly through questions, hesitations, and mental what-ifs. Even a single moment of uncertainty can affect the vibrational frequency of your inner state. The universe does not recognize your desire in isolation. It recognizes the vibration you emit. If your vibration wavers between belief and doubt, the creative intelligence receives a mixed signal. Mixed signals produce confused results. When doubt arises, the seed of your spoken word may be planted, but it will not find the nourishing environment it needs to grow. Trust, in contrast, completes the decree. Trust is not passive hope. It is an active knowing that what you have spoken is already in process. Trust is the unwavering conviction that the universe is intelligent, abundant, and responsive to your word. It is the understanding that your desire, once expressed, has set in motion forces that will align people, circumstances, and opportunities on your behalf. Trust is the soil, water, and sunlight for the seed you have planted, Without trust, the seed struggles to survive. With trust, it flourishes effortlessly. When you speak a positive affirmation, declare a goal, or voice a desire, it must be accompanied by inner trust. Saying the words alone is not enough. Words without trust are like planting a seed on rocky ground. It may sprout temporarily, but it cannot grow into a strong and healthy plant. Trust is the deep layer of soil that allows roots to sink, strengthen, and anchor themselves. When you trust, you provide stability to your declaration. You are not constantly questioning, reevaluating, or worrying about the outcome. You are confident that the law of life is working in your favor. Many people unknowingly sabotage their own declarations because they do not maintain trust after speaking. They may affirm, "I am wealthy," but then immediately check their bank account, compare themselves to others, or listen to negative news. Each of these actions is a form of doubt that cancels the decree. The subconscious mind does not differentiate between spoken words and inner thoughts. It responds to the overall vibration of your consciousness. If doubt predominates, the energy of your word is dissipated. Trust, on the other hand, consolidates your energy and directs it to completion. Trust requires patience. The universe operates according to divine timing, not human urgency. Once you plant the seed of a desire, you must allow the invisible forces to arrange circumstances naturally. Impatience is a form of doubt, for it implies a belief that the universe is not responding fast enough. To maintain trust, you must release control over the how and when of manifestation. You focus instead on the certainty that what you have spoken is already in process. This allows the creative law to work unhindered. Every doubt interrupts this flow. Every worry diverts energy, and every second spent questioning delays the fulfillment of your decree. Visualization and feeling are essential tools in cultivating trust. When you speak your word, see it clearly in your mind's eye. Feel it as though it already exists. Immerse yourself in the emotions associated with its reality: joy, gratitude, peace, and satisfaction. These feelings are the vibration of trust in action. They reinforce your spoken word and amplify its power. Doubt diminishes this vibration. Trust magnifies it. When you feel the truth of your declaration emotionally and mentally, you are sending a unified signal to the universe. The unseen forces respond, not to the words alone, but to the totality of your belief and feeling. Trust also involves the silent acknowledgement that external circumstances do not dictate your outcome. The world around you may seem chaotic or contradictory, but these appearances do not diminish the power of your spoken word. Trust allows you to rise above the evidence of your senses and maintain faith in the invisible. Doubt, however, attaches to appearances and reacts to temporary setbacks. It is a shadow that clouds the clarity of your intention. By remaining steadfast in trust, you protect the integrity of your decree and allow the creative intelligence to orchestrate results without interference. Every manifestation story involves trust in some form. The seed of desire requires time, nurturing, and the certainty of fulfillment. Those who doubt are constantly digging at the seed, trying to force results prematurely, and in doing so they disrupt its natural growth. Those who trust remain still, confident that the universe is completing the work. The contrast is clear. Doubt invites frustration, fear, and delay. Trust invites ease, harmony, and rapid manifestation. It is important to recognize that trust is not blind belief. It is active assurance. You do not ignore challenges, but you do not allow them to shake your certainty. Trust involves conscious alignment with the truth that the creative law is unfailing. Every word you speak with faith, every intention you set with sincerity, is received and acted upon by the infinite intelligence of the universe. Doubt is the only force that cancels this effect. It creates internal conflict, vibrational disharmony, and uncertainty that interrupts the law of manifestation. Trust can be strengthened through repetition, reflection, and experience. The more you observe the results of your spoken word when combined with unwavering trust, the more your belief solidifies. Each fulfilled intention reinforces the principle that doubt cancels and trust completes. You begin to understand that the universe operates not according to human effort or struggle, but according to the harmony of belief, faith, and expectation. Trust becomes a habit, a natural state of being, and a magnetic force that draws desires into tangible form. When you speak with confidence and trust, your words become commands that the universe cannot ignore. They are like seeds planted in fertile soil, ready to grow into abundant reality. Doubt, in contrast, is a frost that withers growth before it can flourish. By cultivating trust, you ensure that the seed of your declaration receives constant nourishment, protection, and the energy required to bloom. Every word spoken with trust carries momentum. Every thought anchored in doubt dissipates potential. The power of trust lies in its ability to sustain the decree, energize the intention, and allow manifestation to unfold without interruption. Trust is the invisible ally of all who create, achieve, and succeed. It is the bridge between the spoken word and the realized reality. Doubt is the bridge's destroyer, the element that collapses possibility before it can be crossed. Those who understand this law speak their words with faith, reinforce them with trust, and allow silence to carry them to completion. The universe, intelligent and responsive, aligns all circumstances, people, and opportunities to fulfill what has been spoken. Doubt, however, introduces hesitation, fear, and resistance, which delays or distorts the outcome. The practice of trust requires discipline and mindfulness. It is not enough to speak affirmations or desires. You must continually monitor your inner state. Are you wavering in doubt, or are you standing firm in belief? Are your emotions in harmony with your spoken word, or are they undermining it? Every moment of inner alignment strengthens the decree. Every moment of doubt weakens it. Trust is therefore both a principle and a practice, a conscious choice to honor the law of manifestation and allow it to operate unhindered. Those who cultivate trust discover that their life transforms with remarkable ease. Obstacles become opportunities, challenges are reframed as lessons, and the flow of abundance becomes natural. The spoken word, once trusted, initiates events in perfect timing, often beyond the imagination of the speaker. Doubt, on the other hand, traps the mind in struggle, frustration, and impatience. Trust completes the decree by sustaining the vibration of faith, ensuring the universe delivers the invisible into visible form. The essence of this principle is simple yet powerful. Speak with confidence, maintain unwavering trust, and allow silence to carry your word into manifestation. Doubt is the only force that interrupts the flow of creation. Trust is the force that guarantees completion. By consciously choosing trust over doubt, you align yourself with the infinite intelligence of the universe, giving every spoken word the power to become reality. Prosperity flows where peace, not noise, resides. This is a principle of profound simplicity and infinite power. The universe is a field of intelligence that responds not to struggle, complaint, or frantic activity, but to the harmonious vibration of peace within the human spirit. Peace is a state of alignment with the natural laws of creation, a quiet assurance that everything necessary for abundance is already in place and unfolding in perfect timing. Noise, on the other hand, is the outward expression of inner turmoil, doubt, and fear. It scatters energy, dilutes intention, and obstructs the flow of prosperity. True wealth and success come to those who cultivate stillness, clarity, and inner calm. Peace is not merely the absence of conflict or chaos, it is an active state of equilibrium. It is the conscious choice to rest in the certainty of divine order. When you are at peace, you are in harmony with the forces that govern all life. Your mind is clear, your emotions are balanced, and your intentions resonate with the frequency of abundance. This vibrational alignment draws prosperity naturally, like water flowing to the lowest point. Noise, in contrast, creates turbulence. It is a signal of misalignment, a vibration of doubt, fear, or impatience that repels the very blessings you seek. Many people pursue wealth and success through frantic effort, constant worry, or relentless chatter. They believe that noise is action and action is results. They speak of their desires repeatedly, fret about outcomes, and strive tirelessly to control circumstances. Yet the universe does not respond to effort alone. It responds to vibration. Effort without peace is like pounding on a locked door. No matter how much you strike it, it will not open. Peace, however, unlocks invisible channels. It is the magnetic force that attracts opportunities, resources, and favorable circumstances with minimal struggle. To cultivate peace is to release the need to force, manipulate, or control. It is to surrender to the intelligence that governs the universe, knowing that what you desire is already in motion. When you speak affirmations, set goals, or visualize abundance, peace ensures that your words and thoughts are aligned with their fulfillment. You do not need to explain, justify, or argue for your success. You simply allow it to manifest, confident in the invisible law that orchestrates all things. Noise interrupts this law, peace amplifies it. The mind at peace is receptive. It notices opportunities that the frantic mind overlooks. It sees solutions where chaos sees obstacles. Prosperity requires more than action. It requires awareness, discernment, and the capacity to respond to circumstances intelligently. Noise clouds perception, creating confusion and misjudgment. Peace, however, is the still water in which clarity is reflected. The tranquil mind attracts people, resources, and situations that match its vibration. It draws to itself the very conditions that make prosperity inevitable. Inner peace also cultivates emotional stability. Fear, worry, and anxiety are powerful forms of noise that block abundance. When you dwell in fear, you signal to the universe that you are resistant, insecure, or unprepared to receive. Peace, however, communicates readiness and receptivity. It allows you to maintain a steady, confident vibration even when circumstances appear uncertain. The universe responds not to appearances, but to the underlying state of consciousness. Prosperity cannot flow where fear reigns. It flows where trust, calm, and inner certainty prevail. Silence is the natural companion of peace. To speak affirmations, intentions, or prayers with noise and agitation is to create conflicting vibrations. Words spoken in calm, measured tones, imbued with belief and expectation, resonate with the creative forces of the universe. The less frantic noise you emit, the clearer and stronger your signal becomes. Silence is not inactivity, it is focused receptivity. It allows the invisible forces to arrange people, opportunities, and circumstances in perfect alignment with your desires. The one who masters silence after speaking amplifies the power of peace in attracting prosperity. Peace also fosters gratitude, which is a powerful magnet for abundance. When you are at peace, you are able to appreciate the present moment, recognize blessings already present, and acknowledge the unseen workings of the universe in your favor. Gratitude raises your vibration, reinforcing the flow of prosperity. Noise, on the other hand, focuses attention on lack, deficiency, or what is missing. Constant complaining, comparing, or striving in desperation creates a vibration that repels abundance. The more you cultivate inner peace and gratitude, the more prosperity is drawn to you effortlessly. The natural law that governs prosperity is rhythmical and orderly. Just as rivers flow smoothly when unobstructed, so does wealth flow when the mind and spirit are calm. Noise creates friction, resistance, and turbulence. It is an energy leak that dissipates the force of your intention. Peace, in contrast, is a channel that directs energy efficiently, allowing abundance to flow unimpeded. Every thought, word, and action rooted in tranquility carries coherence, and coherence is magnetic. The universe moves in harmony with coherent vibration, bringing prosperity to those who embody it. Peace also strengthens faith, which is the foundation of manifestation. When your heart and mind are at peace, trust arises naturally. You no longer doubt that your desires will be fulfilled. The tranquil state of consciousness assures the unseen forces that you are ready to receive. Noise, conversely, is the companion of doubt, worry, and impatience. It broadcasts uncertainty and disrupts the alignment necessary for manifestation. Prosperity is attracted not by frantic effort, but by quiet certainty and unwavering expectation. Those who dwell in peace find that prosperity often arrives in unexpected ways. They do not need to chase opportunities or fight for success. Instead, they create an environment of calm receptivity that allows blessings to flow effortlessly. Peace aligns you with the natural order of life, where resources, people, and circumstances converge to fulfill your desires. The law of abundance operates invisibly, but it is always consistent. Noise interrupts this operation. Peace ensures it functions without obstruction. To cultivate peace, one must practice self-discipline, awareness, and conscious alignment with the inner state of calm. Meditation, reflection, conscious breathing, and moments of silence strengthen peace. Limiting unnecessary chatter, avoiding negative influences, and focusing on constructive thoughts also support this state. The more consistently you dwell in peace, the more naturally prosperity flows into your life. Inner stillness becomes the fertile ground from which all abundance springs. Peace also improves decision-making and action. When you are calm, your mind evaluates options clearly, chooses wisely, and acts effectively. Noise clouds judgment, causes rash decisions, and wastes energy. Prosperity is not merely the accumulation of wealth, it is the result of intelligent action, guided by clarity and inner harmony. The tranquil mind knows when to act, what to say, and how to align with the natural flow of abundance. Noise disrupts this rhythm, scattering energy and delaying results. The principle that prosperity flows where peace resides is evident in the lives of those who manifest effortlessly. Their success is rarely born of frantic effort, competition, or loud assertion. Instead, it is rooted in an inner state of calm confidence, clarity of intention, and alignment with universal laws. Wealth, opportunity, and influence naturally gravitate toward their peaceful vibration. Conversely, those who operate from fear, worry, and noise struggle continually, repelling the very prosperity they seek. Peace creates a magnetic field. It draws favorable circumstances, supportive people, and timely opportunities. It amplifies the power of spoken words, intentional thoughts, and aligned actions. The more peace you cultivate, the more effortless your manifestation becomes. Noise, impatience, and agitation scatter energy, dilute intention, and block the natural flow of abundance. True prosperity is, therefore, inseparable from inner tranquility. It flows where the mind is still, the heart is calm, and the spirit is serene. To embody this principle, one must commit to prioritizing inner harmony over external struggle. You must learn to quiet the mind, release anxiety, and trust the intelligence of the universe. Every moment spent in peace strengthens your ability to attract wealth, health, love, and success. Silence, reflection, gratitude, and trust are the tools by which you maintain this state. Prosperity is a natural consequence of peace, for the universe responds to vibration, not noise, and abundance is drawn to those whose inner world resonates with calm and clarity.